Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 11:11 a.m. Fireside Chat. Thank you for joining me today, Vickie Meeks Miller, your Community Engagement Manager, on this Wednesday, December the 29th, 2021. I am delighted to be joined by Mr. Ron Downing of the Henry Downing Band, who will be joining me to talk a little bit about things that are going on right now. I guess that's the best way to put it. I am here, and regretfully, I must inform all that the Red Ball has been postponed due to, out of an abundance of concern and caution. The leadership has decided that the Red Ball will be rescheduled for a future date, and that is due to COVID concerns. As we all have been hearing, the numbers have been rising in record numbers in Virginia and across the country. And so just to make sure that we are doing everything we possibly can to protect all of us here in the community, we've decided that the Red Ball will be postponed. It is not canceled. It will be postponed. We are already planning for a future date for the festivities to proceed, and we're looking very forward to that opportunity. We also have other New Year's Eve festivities that will proceed on this Friday. Being that dinner will not be served at the Red Ball, to-go boxed dinners are available in the Answer Cafe from 4 o'clock until 5:30 p.m. They will include the menu that we we're expecting, which is roast beef with gravy, green beans with pearled onions, roasted red potatoes, roll, red velvet cake, tossed salad as well, all for just $10. You may pick up your meal from the Answer Cafe between the hours of 4 and 5:30 p.m. Of course, it is recommended that you reserve your meal and alert dining of the time in which you intend to pick it up. So dinner's covered, and we also will have a virtual concert of the Henry Downing Band, which will start their performance at 4:30 p.m. right here on Channel 62. So we urge you to grab dinner in the Answer and then come home, turn on Channel 62, and enjoy the show. Now, of course, we regret the cancellation, and the leadership is doing everything that they possibly can and have throughout this pandemic to keep us all safe. And as Mr. Downing and I were talking, it is best to err on the side of caution when the stakes are high. So we will proceed with the Red Ball. We're considering Valentine's Day as the alternate date. Kind of goes with the theme of the Red Ball. So that will be a discussion that is ongoing, but you will see the flyer that is informing all that the Red Ball has been postponed. And then there is a flyer also that will give you the details of the New Year's Eve menu, and that information will be sent out to you this afternoon. So Ron, we just appreciate you being flexible. Now, let me just tell you, Ron has been flexible throughout, in that he was booked already for Friday night, and he was gracious enough as a great community neighbor to make himself and the band available for our engagement, and then they're going to proceed to their next engagement. And so, as in Ron form, we had to make another change in the program, and he has been so gracious once again in accommodating us so that we can provide New Year's Eve entertainment for you by our favorite in-house band, the Henry Downing Band. So, Ron, tell us a little bit about the performance and what we can expect on Friday.
Well, thank you again for having me join you on this program. As everyone knows, this is kind of a very short fuse notice, so we've all had to make some modifications. But I wanted to say Ridgefield is very accommodating. They really want to make sure that we're healthy and taking the right precautions with people traveling and coming back in this strange variant that we're dealing with right now. So we thoroughly understand precautions. And also, the challenge I have is squeezing 3.5 hours into 1 hour, but I'll figure that out.
Yes.
Because we want to give you a good variety. And this facility that we have here, the Chapel Community Room, has the amazing capability, like you see right now, of us talking with you with a great sound system. And so the flexibility is there for Ridgefield to also offer virtual. We have, I know we have exercise programs, we have religious programs, we have all kinds of things with your fireside chats, and so that makes this an alternative that is not all that different than what we're already accustomed to.
Exactly.
One of the things that's going to be a little bit different is that we're going to have a full band playing, so that will be a very unique experience for us watching on the Channel 62. We're also hopeful, we don't really know exactly right now, but this might reach a broader audience since we have folks that maybe weren't planning on coming over here for this, that they can actually tune in from wherever they happen to be in their rooms, in their homes, or in the community area in the various different buildings. So that's exciting to think that even though we won't see a lot of people physically, we will see people virtually. Indeed. And then also there's a possibility we can have this downloaded on other channels too. Probably more to come on that. That has to be approved. Yes. But we do plan on having the whole band here, all the 4 performers and our sound technician. So-Yun Chun, we plan on moving that piano over and have her play a few songs on that. Roger Dickinson, this will be your first time to see him on Channel 62. Even though Roger and I played together in the Downing Brothers Band for 20 years. I was very glad to have him back in the loop. Awesome. Bobby Henry, who I stole his last name to make the Henry Downing Band. As we've talked about in previous discussions, that is a stage name. Yes. People ask me if I'm Henry, and I go, no, that's him. I'm Downing. So we'll have those folks, Bobby Henry, Roger Dickinson, So-Yun Chun, and of course I'll be part of that mix as well.
Awesome. Yes, and I like how you explained that we have to sometimes make these changes, but we always look for the positive, and one being that perhaps others who would not have been able to enjoy the concert will be able to do so. It will broadcast at 4:30 on Channel 62 right here on Friday, New Year's Eve. And we are looking at some other options of having it uploaded on YouTube so that you can enjoy it at other times as well. However, we really do have to embrace the bright side. This will be a good opportunity for maybe friends and neighbors to have smaller get-togethers, or also, to enjoy the food. And, it's been so much happening over the last month, I would say. So, just to spend that quiet time together, enjoying a wonderful concert, great meal, will also be an option for for everyone. And once again, we always look at the bright side. We always enjoy the Henry Downing Band as well. I know that many of us were looking forward to dancing the early evening away at the Red Ball. However, that opportunity will be provided. Ron mentioned that he's got to maneuver in such a way that 4 hours of music is represented in 1 hour. However, you will get the full concert when we proceed with the event in the future, and we certainly intend to do so. So, Ron, are there any particular tunes that we can look forward to hearing?
There's going to be a mix. I don't try to stay focused on one particular genre. I try to blend it in with some of the old-time favorites. We are playing a dance later the same evening, so that'll give us a chance to play some of those dance tunes. We will play some, I think pretty much everybody will know every song. We try to focus on popular tunes, not things that might be new to people. Because what you try to create when you're playing music is bringing people back to a happy time. And music speaks to the heart. And many of us have songs that will take us back into a certain time that we were living, maybe in our youth, maybe in our young adulthood. We tend to hold on to those more, I think, than the songs that may be popular today. We tend to, when our heart is young and when our life is ahead of us, we tend to get our inspiration from songs during that time, you know, whether we're in our teens or 20s or 30s or whatever. So I think that's one of the reasons the music that we play connects particularly with the audiences that we hopefully play for, like Richfield. And it's been a joy to play various locations and venues over December here on campus.
Yes, you've been very busy entertaining during Christmas parties and, of course, the Red Ball celebration. And you're exactly right in that music does connect to our hearts, and that's another great opportunity. Not only will the independent residents who were going to attend right here, we have the residents in the assisted living and the health center and rehab that will be able to enjoy this concert. And as we know, sometimes those songs bring back such great memories and take us back to a place that we all enjoyed.
We may not know why we're happy, but we're just happy.
Indeed.
Because there's so many things that happen in our lives that it transcends that particular situation and just turns it into the joy.
Yes.
Like, we don't always know what people say, we don't always know what people do, but we know how they made us feel. So I think music does the same thing. We don't know the circumstance, maybe a lot of times we don't know the first time we heard that song.
Right.
Or we don't know the circumstances that we were living in our lives at that time when we heard particular songs, but we know the feeling that we received. And whether that's love, whether that's joy, whether that's community, whether that just makes your feet move and you just want to, you know, shuffle around or whatever. So that's the beauty of music.
Yes. That's one of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou is, you know, we may not remember everything people say or do, but we do remember how people make us feel. And that's a great, I guess, guiding principle to bestow upon ourselves and others. And here at Richfield, now Ron and I, this is not our first cancellation rodeo. We've had a number of events that were planned, and again, out of concern for the community, those plans had to be changed. And that really does speak to Richfield's resilience. You know, we were ready to go with the event, and from my perspective as the community engagement manager, I will always be optimistic. I will plan until the last moment to provide programs and activities and events for our beloved residents, for the beloved residents here, for your enjoyment and to enrich and enhance life. But sometimes we do have to make those adjustments. However, that does not stop us from being optimistic, continuing to plan, continuing to look forward to that time in which we can continue to be together and as a community, because that is one of our main goals, is for us all to come together from the various places on campus to gather together to have the community experience that we so desire. So we'll continue to work and to plan and to pursue opportunities that will enrich and engage us. And with partners like yourself, our leadership that is always diligent in trying to protect all of our interests. I thank so much the Suzanne Quesenberry, our dining manager, who of course had to make a lot of adjustments at this point, Michelle Topi for her involvement, and for all of you who had responded and were interested in attending the Red Ball. We so appreciate your support, your continued support, and your continued adjustments when the time is necessary. But we just appreciate everyone's support, and as we go forward and try our very best to provide the community life that we would like to have. And we just appreciate everyone who contributes, and that includes residents, team members, family members. I thank specifically Mary Jo Crutzen, who was instrumental in taking all of the reservations and working so hard. You know, we will continue these efforts because it's worth it. It's worth it for us to be able to gather together and celebrate the community that we've established.
I did want to ask one thing.
Sure.
Vickie and I were talking a little before we went on the air. It's great to play in front of people, so we're still exploring this, but don't give up on the chance of maybe coming live as long as the numbers aren't too great. We keep a social distance, and I think we're going to ask people to wear masks at least when they're in this room. So we're still thinking about that, and so pay attention if you'd like to come. We would like to have a few people in here. If you wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So we could accommodate, 25 to 30 people here in the chapel, socially distanced, wearing your mask, and just allowing the experience of performing for some live bodies. That is something that is so much more pleasant when you are performing, is to be able to look out, see the enjoyment on people's faces, and if they're clapping their hands or tapping their toes, that's always very encouraging for the band. So we do invite, there will have to be small numbers, and just to be a part of the live concert experience.
So again, that starts at 4:30, so you kind of have
Yes.
to plan your evening around that. We're going to play from 4:30 to 5:30, and so I would suggest to kind of make a mental plan on how if you're going to pick up dinner, when that's going to be. And what Vickie said, I think we need to make reservations. It sounds like the Red Ball is a different event, so this is going to be a dinner on Friday,
Right.
of which is a pay-as-you-go, and the Red Ball is being postponed to a future date.
Yes.
So not to be confused with the two things. So
Yes.
my understanding then is we're going to have dinner offer, if you want, order it and pick it up between, what we say, 4 and 5:30.
It's 4 and 5:30.
And then the concert will be in this room we're in right now from 4:30 to 5:30. So you kind of have to figure on your head whether you want to get dinner before or how you're going to arrange that, or if you're going to leave early to go get it or stop in for a few minutes. But I do think keep all of that in mind, because it's going to be two different events. The Red Ball's been postponed. We're doing something instead of it right now.
Right.
And I appreciate Richfield's flexibility.
Yes, yes. So as Ron mentioned, these are the New Year's Eve festivities that we've had to, to incorporate due to the change in our plans. The box lunch will be available from 4 p.m. until 5:30. Please call dining at 540-283-2822 to reserve your box meal and to make arrangements to pick it up. And then the concert will start at 4:30 p.m. here in the chapel and community room. It will broadcast on Channel 62. However, we can have a few live audience members here to enjoy the live performance. That will proceed until 5:30. And so once again, you can grab your dinner and then enjoy the show. And as Ron mentioned, the Red Ball will proceed. Again, we are considering Valentine's Day, hoping that things, we'll have a better idea of where we are, where we stand with regard to COVID at that time. And if not, then it will proceed at another date. And then, of course, complimentary meal, entertainment, and all of those aspects of what we had planned for Friday will proceed at that time. The dinner box is only $10, and it will be provided at the Answer Cafe. So we wish you, each and every one of you, a very happy new year. We hope that you will enjoy the festivities that are planned and that we have been able to continue and to entertain you with the Henry Downing Band. Ron, we thank you for joining me today. And
My pleasure.
Yes, sir, and for, again, accommodating us as we navigate this rocky road, if you will. And some advice on how to navigate times such as these come from my Jar of Awesomeness, and the quote states, "It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change," by Charles Darwin. And that is so true in the time in which we exist right now. So we're just going to continue to do our very best to navigate the storms, move forward as a community, and continue to support one another in every possible way. So thank you all so much. I look forward to us having our Red Ball in the future, and I certainly do wish each and every one a happy new year. Thanks so much.
Thank you.